Hi, welcome to our math. Today I'm doing a series of videos on linears, lines, graphs, all sorts of things of dealing with equations of lines. This video I'm going to do these three examples. I have a slope and a point, and a slope and a point, and a slope and a point. And I want to write the equation of the line. There are a lot of ways of doing this, and I know that there's going to be pushback. People are going to say, but what about my way? And the answer is, do it your way. Just make sure you get the right answer. My way is based on what I have found over the years is the most accurate way for students to do this process. And I have found the most accurate way is to start with point slope form. Point slope form, y minus y sub 1 equals m, x minus x sub 1, deals with a point and a slope. Now, this is x sub 1 and y sub 1. The sub 1s just means when you have multiple points, it just says, hey, this is one of the points that we have. It's a way to differentiate when you write a bunch of x's and a bunch of y's in the same problem. Okay, so y minus y sub 1 is y minus 9 equals my slope, which is a negative 3/7, x minus x sub 1, x minus a negative 2. Okay, minus a negative, I always just write as plus a positive. Okay, so I'm going to clear the fraction. I'm going to start by multiplying both sides by 7. When I multiply it on the left, I'm going to get 7 times y minus 9. On the right, the 7s are going to cancel, and I'm going to be left with negative 3 times x plus 2. You cannot multiply into the parentheses. You can't do anything until you distribute. You can't add, subtract, multiply, divide into the parentheses until you use the distributive property to get rid of them. Okay, so distributive property. 7y minus 63. This is a negative 3 distributing in. Negative 3x minus 6. I'm going to add this 63 over. So that 7y is equal to a negative 3x plus 57. And then I'm going to divide by 7. The one last thing I want to mention about this problem before moving on to the next one is that if you notice, I kept the negative of the slope with the 3. I didn't bring it over with the 7. I did that because I like to divide by a positive, not a negative. And if you leave the negative with the 3, it's going to be an easier problem. Okay, next. Y minus a negative 4 equals 5/8 x minus a negative 8. Okay, I'm going to do this one a little bit differently, and I will explain why. And if you don't like my explanation, do it this way and make sure you get the same answer. 8 goes into 8. So if I distribute my slope in right away, y plus 4 equals 5/8 x. Well, 8 divided, this is 8 over 1. 8 goes into 8 once, this becomes plus 5, because 1 times 5 is 5. Now you're saying, why didn't we do that over here? And the answer is, if we had, we would have gotten a negative 6/7 and would have to add 9, and then we're getting into adding fractions. And that's a whole other ball game. Here, when I subtract 4, there's no fraction because the denominator canceled. So y is equal to 5/8 x plus 1. Much simpler than going through the whole process. And that's one reason I like slope-intercept is you can always take the shortcuts. For instance, y minus 0 equaling negative 3, x minus a negative 1, negative 3x minus 3. It's as easy as it comes. Here's like my stair step of hard, medium, easy. And this isn't even very hard, it's just more tedious. So this stepping off point works for the easiest of easy to the hardest of hard, and it's always going to be, this is the most work it would be, except for maybe if this could be reduced, if this was like something that was reducible. Outside of this being reducible, this is as hard as this process could be, and if this process makes sense, you are golden. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my Facebook page, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.